Who we are and what we want to be is created by our intent. Now, how do we create any aspect of our lives, whether it's an internal state or a feeling or some kind of external circumstance, through intent? Let me share with you a little story. For most of my life, I was unconscious about what I wanted. I wanted to, I think, feel good, so I did a lot of external things in order to create an internal experience, which, by the way, everybody on the planet does that, including myself now. The remarkable aspect of creating the life that we want, however, has actually in reverse, meaning how we feel and how we think gets expressed out into the world. So if we want to experience joy, happiness, fulfillment, passion, whatever it is in the external world, then we can, if we generate that inside of ourselves, then it will get reflected. But what does it mean to create by intent? Well, first, become clear about what it is that you really want. Now, for most people, they don't consider this because they think that it's not possible for them. And there are compelling reasons in every single person's life that I have met. And I think I have a good enough database of having met thousands of people and closely met thousands of people to know that we all have this, no matter what our life circumstances. Or I know people that are billionaires, or people that are extremely poor. Just in terms of wealth, not how they feel. I know people that feel extraordinary and feel terrible and have everything and have nothing. It's all created by what we want. And what we want is created by what we think we can have or think we can do. So you've got to just, first of all, just take a look at what it is that you really want. And then secondly, not even believe, but just start to practice knowing that you can have it. Because I don't know you at all, but I know that you can have what it is that you want. Now, it might not come in the form of what you want, the specific form of what you want, but if you get clear on what you want, then you can have it. I'll give you my crowning achievement of my life's example. From the age of 12, when I was attracted to girls, like romantically, I wanted to be in a relationship. When I was in a relationship, I was super happy, so I thought, and when I was out of a relationship, I was extremely lonely. Like I didn't like being out of a relationship. Maybe for like a couple weeks or a month or two post-breakup, but really I wanted to be in a relationship all the time. And when I was about 35 or so, I got really clear and actually learned some of these techniques in the power of creation and got actually quite good at creating the life that I wanted and sort of practicing these principles. And I got really clear that I was going to create this fantastic, amazing romantic relationship, right? I'd been through 3 really great relationships up until that point in my life when I was just totally in love with these people. It didn't work out for a variety of reasons, just wasn't the right match. And they were great, and I was just ready for the one, as we speak. Like, I was pretty stoked to get married, let's be honest. Maybe not have a family, but get married. I wanted a partner, all that, companionship. And I got really clear about what I wanted. I wanted to be passionate. I wanted to adore the person, and I wanted to be adored. I wanted to admire the person. I wanted to be admired. I had all these different qualities like that. Anything that you can picture in a fantastic relationship. Well, I got really clear on it, and within 2 months, I had met this woman. Despite circumstances, it worked out and we fell madly in love. Now, here's the short version of this story. You can check out the video around how I became a monk, because this is that story. Over the course of the next 7 months, I thought I was completely in love with this person. And I felt it. Like, I loved them so much. I just adored them. And everything that I had wanted became true and became manifest in this other person in the relationship. However, my profound spiritual path, and I'm a celibate monk right now, like I said, and I've been studying with a master teacher, you could say, a spiritual master for the last 17 years now. That relationship with the community and my spiritual life and the spiritual community, and I was a teacher in that community, really started to nosedive. And I could not understand how I was in love with this woman on the one hand, and my spiritual life, my vibration, what people thought of me. Like, they were just like, dude, are you okay? And I was like, I'm in love. And they were like, huh. You know, I had a lot of these different conversations, and I couldn't really work it out between the two things. I had an epiphany during a meditation workshop at one point, 7 months into this relationship, and I didn't know why, but I knew I had to end the relationship with this woman. I flew back to where I was living in Durango, Colorado at that time. The next day, I ended the relationship. It was absolutely brutal. I felt terrible about her, let alone myself, because I had been the one who had like put a lot of energy into this, and we had fallen in love, and she wasn't really into it at first, but I just loved her so much. I think she felt compelled. So I felt it was the worst time in my life, right? I was crying in the fetal position on the ground for an hour, literally every day for like a month. I felt terrible about what I had done to her, the impact I'd had on her. I felt terrible within myself. I mean, everything was a mess. But I had gotten clear, and I followed my intuition on what I had to do, so I did it. Now, fast forward 6 months, I started feeling amazing. And a miracle occurred. And the miracle was the experience that I had had, the desire I had had since I was 12 years old, so 20 plus years up until that point, I'm 46 now, that the desire that I had had completed. I didn't have the desire to be in a relationship anymore, and I couldn't believe it. I looked around one morning and I was like, that feeling is gone. How is that? And at the same time, what was being birthed in me is this desire to be a celibate monk. Now, a lot happened in order for me to be ready, willing, really devoted to this path for the rest of my life. I mean, this isn't something that we take lightly in our tradition. It's a lifelong commitment. And a lot had to happen inside of me, but it just blossomed so beautifully. And after I became a monk, actually, I'm just realizing now, about 1 year after I had ended the relationship, I was initiated as a celibate monk in our tradition, I had everything I wanted in the relationship. But the relationship was with myself. Isn't that amazing? I had passion, I had adoration. I mean, it was really with spirit, right? The self within me. God, you could say, or life in itself. I had adoration, I had admiration. I mean, I was so passionate. I was so blissful. I had so much peace. And since then, it's been 9 years, I think, or so, 8 or 9 years. I feel amazing. I don't have the desire to be in a relationship. So all this to say, this is a very long story of telling you, be open to what you create. Some people say the universe, but really it's the universe inside of us that is creating our lives for ourselves. Be open to what may come to you through your intent, right? So we create through our intent. And if you get clear on what you want and really specific about it, and you feed it with a burning desire, you will get it. And it may not be in the form that you want, right? As in my case. But if you are clear on it and use these principles, it can be yours. All my best to you.